Well, British fans, I'm sure, counting down the hours to England, Scotland, but in Eastern Europe, this fixture has just as much meaning. These two Balkan nations, old enemies on the football field, and indeed Bulgaria's English-based goalkeeper, Bobby Mikhailov, had a quaint way of summing it up when he said, "To us, it's a local derby, a bit like Reading against Oxford." And I have to say, they'd probably get a bigger crowd at Reading Oxford. This is one of the smallest attendances, sadly, I've ever seen at a major championship game. The stadium's filled up a little more in the half an hour before kick-off, but I would still estimate the crowd to be only around 10,000 or so. Sad to see that, Kevin.
Yeah, it is sad, but, you know, they don't bring a lot of support with them, these two teams, and it's a kick-off at 4:30, which doesn't allow the kids to get in, and maybe the pricing as well. A lot of reasons, but I think we're in for a great game here, Alan. I really do, because both sides really need to win.
Yes, a vital game. Romania all in yellow, can't afford to lose, having been beaten by France in their opening game. Rather unluckily, they felt, and Bulgaria took 1 point from their match against Spain. Bulgaria with 2 changes from that match. Lubchev suspended, Kyriakov injured. Romania 1 change. Prodan, who was suspended for the opening game, comes back at the centre of their defence. Here's Lechkov, teasing one forward. That was the intention anyway for Penev, but the ball too strong from Jordan Lechkov, who scored the goal which knocked out the holders, Germany, in the World Cup 2 years ago. Penev, rather disappointing in that opening game, I think, Kevin.
Yeah, he was one of the players I was really looking forward to see. Top scorer in Spain, had a great season with Atletico Madrid. Has had his problems, as we know, he's had operations and things, but really, I think we can look for a lot more from him today.
Lechkov gets another touch on, but the ball to Munteanu, and a little untidy by him. Balakov trying to release Stoichkov down the left-hand side, and Stoichkov goes spinning, not for the first time in these championships, and he has perfected that look of absolute disgust towards referees when they don't give him what he wants, which was a free kick. He didn't get that, and Romania continue in possession, with Popescu feeding it out to the far side. Akatush takes over in the centre of the field. Play goes on through Lupescu, and a rather sloppy ball by him, but it still found its target out to the right. Radochoyu's little downward header misdirected, and Yordanov bringing it clear, and the first free kick of the game, in fact, to Bulgaria. Referee today, incidentally, is Peter Mikkelsen from Denmark. Good break forward by Balakov. Stoichkov in possession, Penev to his left, but he won't need him. It's a brilliant run by Stoichkov! 3 minutes gone, and Bulgaria's genius does it again. What a goal.
We'll take him, Alan, we'll take him. I mean, honestly and truthfully, he just does what great players do here. He's not scared to take responsibility, goes straight at the heart of the defence. He can't believe his luck, but a great finish on his left foot, as you would expect.
Hristo Stoichkov, the man who, of course, was top goal scorer, joint top goal scorer in the World Cup 2 years ago, and one of the top scorers in the qualifying competition for Euro '96, gets his second goal of the championships, the first from the penalty spot against Spain in the opening game, and that superb goal coming so early on here today, and Romania really up against it now. Bulgaria flying with Lechkov, Kostadinov to his right, Penev ahead of him, and it's almost a good ball to the big number 9. Munteanu with the clearance. Well, Romania, by common consent, were rather unfortunate to lose against the French, but that blow so early on is going to really dent their confidence in a match that they can't effectively afford to lose. There are some circumstances where they could still get through despite a defeat today, but it's very unlikely. Stoichkov looking for Penev again, looked like a nudge, and indeed a free kick has been given.
Alan, Bulgaria started very, very brightly here, and you know, they maybe just catch the Romanians at a good time, because they didn't play that well against France. They need this man Hagi to run things, and against France he just couldn't do it. He did it in patches, but he couldn't do it. And Stoichkov, they've got a real match winner, Bulgaria. They've just got to keep feeding him because he is one dangerous player.
And so is Ivanov, the man who's about to take this free kick. He unleashed a couple of cannonballs against Spain from further out than this in the first game, and was very close on both occasions. Here he goes again. Well, you'd have to be a brave man to be in that wall, but they did their job well. Malakov, a disappointing ball by him. Romania can settle again. Tiano, who plays for Cologne in Germany, very much the workhorse in the side, the little number 11, a vital player for them for all that. Popescu coming forward and ran straight into trouble. There's Stoichkov, now moved to this right-hand side. Lechkov will just help it back to the captain, Mikhailov. And Bulgaria looking good again on the attack. Very good interception this time, though, by Prodan. Tianu. Very experienced side, the Romanians, a lot of them around the 40-50 cap mark, and remember they reached the World Cup final 2 years ago, but they haven't been in top form in the last 12 months. Radichoiu, however, is onside here and causing a problem for the Bulgarian defence, who hesitated, expecting to see a linesman's flag then, Kevin.
They did, but that is one of the problems the Romanians have. There you get Radichoiu. He's in a great position. There's not another man in the 18-yard box. And what you're saying about experience is great, but are they getting a little bit old this side? They didn't seem to be able to cover the ground as much against France the other night, especially when they needed a goal late on.
That must be one of the fears, as Popescu, the former Tottenham player, takes them forward again and finds on the right-hand side Petrescu, who of course plays for Chelsea now. Moved from Sheffield Wednesday for a couple of £1 million. He's had 2 years in the English Premiership, Dan Petrescu. And this is his 53rd cap today. Popescu in possession. Looking for Munteanu. Lechkov with the interception and a strange ball by Stoichkov. He has it again now. Oh, a delightful little ball forward this time to Kishishev. Kishishev looks for Kostadinov. Penev peeling away in the centre, has got himself in a good position. But Kostadinov's cross not good enough to find him. That goal by Stoichkov was his 33rd in 63 internationals. That's a fantastic record, Kevin.
Incredible, and there you saw Beledidic. He just could not live with the pace of Stoichkov. Which surprised me a little bit. I never realised he was that quick, but he really left him for dead.
Popescu teasing it forward again to Radichoiu. Popescu still in a good position, and Radichoiu temporarily loses his man. Hadji with a nice turn and fine cross, but nobody really seemed keen to get on the end of it. Lechkov's clearance. This looks a little better now from the Romanians. Popescu again. And again, Popescu in a dangerous position here. Sets it up for Lakatouche. And the shot pulled wide. Romanians claiming a corner, but it's a goal kick.
That's much better from Romania. And possibly played better in the last 5 minutes than they have in the whole tournament so far. And Lakatouche will be really disappointed with this effort. Although, to be fair to the Bulgarians, they closed him down really quickly, the two of them. They were very brave.
Certainly one of the most experienced players in their squad, Lakatouche as well, a very consistent goal scorer. It's his 85th international for Romania today. There's Munteanu. Radichoiu, Popescu, and on it goes again to Radichoiu. Excellent football. Good interception by Svetanov. Romania have settled now after the early goal they conceded, and are playing some delightful football at the moment. Popescu looking for Hadji. The clearance just took the ball away from him, from Jordanov. Plays in Portugal for Sporting Lisbon. Most of the players out there today play their club football all over Europe. Very few of them in the country of their birth. Here's Ivanov, who plays in Austria. Now Kishishev, who is indeed, I think, the only player in Bulgaria's side who plays in the Bulgarian league. Ivanov caught in possession. Crunching tackle by Kishishev, who was one of 3 players cautioned for Bulgaria in their opening game against Spain. Remember, a further yellow card would mean they would have to miss the next match, and that's going to be an increasing problem in this rather card-happy European Championships. Popescu, Munteanu, Pechkov beaten to it by Lakatush. Now Munteanu again, Radichoyu in a good position on the far post. He sought him out with the cross, which was cleared by Yankov.
Very unlucky there. Great crossing, but he just split the 2 players. Hadji went in front, and he couldn't quite get him, and he didn't reach the back man. But he's the player I think's got to start coming in. Munteanu never really contributed enough the other night. They were looking to Hadji, and they had no other alternative, Alan. And he started off a little bit brighter since they went a goal down.
Well, certainly in terms of the spectacle, that early goal for Bulgaria has really set this game up now, because clearly the Romanians have got to throw any possible caution they might have had in their minds aside and go for it. And with Bulgaria's counter-attacking skills, that could make for some game. Might see a few goals today.
I don't think there's any doubt who'll take this one. It's bound to be Hadji. Whether he's a little bit far out for him to shoot it, probably clip it in.
It wasn't a bad effort at all. And Mikhailov, who was called upon to make a couple of stunning saves in the match against Spain, does so again.
Told you it was too far out, Alan, didn't I? No way he was going to shoot from there. It's so casual the way he hits it. It makes the keeper work for his living.
Terrific effort by Hadji, which almost brought Romania level. Popescu gets a little flick on. Radichoyu unable to bring the ball down quickly. But Romania having a very good spell since conceding that 3rd-minute goal to Stoichkov.
Yeah, it's dangerous though for the Romanians now, because we saw against Spain the signs that on the break this Bulgarian side are very, very talented, and they turn defence into attack very quickly.
As Balakov underlines.
Also be interested to see how this goalkeeper Steliar does, because he came so far for that cross, which he never got near. I guess he'll stay on his line a bit more today.
Svetanov leaving it to Stoichkov, who found him again. Balakov. Stoichkov in an unusually deep position. Mikhailov's clearance. And Romania have it back again. Munteanu. Only Radichoyu in the middle at the moment. Lakatush arriving far edge of the box. And from the distance that he was forced to head the ball there was never really much prospect of Mikhailov being seriously troubled by that effort.
There would have been some goal to score with the header from, what, 20 yards, but that's what he tried to do. Here's the free kick, and although you would expect Mikhailov to save it, he really had to work, didn't he? I don't think he expected him to shoot, just like I did.
I'm sure Reading fans are watching with great fascination as Lechkov goes forward here. The performances of Mikhailov in these championships, because he's not been able to play many games in the Ensley First Division for Reading because of injuries. Despite that, he's become a real favourite, I know, in Berkshire with the Reading fans. He's a real character, as Stoichkov, who could have almost invented the term character, finds himself offside.
I think he must get his win bonus by how many times he has a go at the linesman or the referee, because he had to be offside there, but he still didn't think he was.
Here's Lupescu, Lakatush. Petrescu out on the right. And good play by Bulgaria. However, the Romanians not slow to tackle when they have to, and showing some silky skills in possession as well. Popescu for them. That wasn't his best effort of the day.
The danger here for Bulgaria is if they just drop back for the rest of this game, and I'm sure RG or one of the other players, Lakatus, Munteanu, will open them up one or two times. They must still come out and believe that they can get another goal, which will make it a real stiff task for the Romanians. But at the moment, it's all Romania since the goal, really.
Romania have failed to qualify for 4 of the last 5 finals in the European Championships, and when they have got through to the final stages, they haven't gone very far in the past. And that prospect is facing them again here, beaten in their opening game and 1-0 down already. But still playing some excellent football. Petrescu, good ball forward for Hadji. And again, the cross was tempting enough and given away, surprisingly there, by Kishishev. Yankov completing the clearance. Panev's control was excellent first time. And Balakov trying to get in behind his marker. Kostadinov in support. Balakov again. Stoichkov, edge of the box. Danger again here. And the ball turned away by Popescu. And again. Stoichkov still wanting the ball out on that left-hand side, and Yordanov finally delivers. Panev beaten to it. Kishishev winning it back. And this is Munteanu now for Romania. It's a good-looking ball down the line, but Radichoiu offside.
This is just about the brightest start I think we've seen to any game, and like you said, Alan, the early goal for any side as a neutral, certainly that's what you want. Forcing now Romania to come out and really show us whether they're the side that they possibly or potentially could be in this tournament.
Yordanescu, the coach of Romania, former international himself, was a striker who won over 60 caps for his country. Very popular figure, I gather, back home with the media and the supporters. Good work by Munteanu. That's gone over the line. Throw in to the Bulgarians. Balakov was a bit untidy, and Pescu made the interception. Good ball, Hadji, Popescu. It's too strong for Lupescu. Pescu plays in Germany for Bayer Leverkusen. He's been 6 years in the German league. Svetanov also plays in Germany, incidentally, getting it forward, but Romania have possession again, and that's a foul, surely, on Lakatus, but surprisingly not given. Popescu. Now Hadji. Munteanu always available on this side. Tried to release Selimesh. Both these teams doing well in the World Cup final in the United States 2 years ago. Bulgaria, remember the surprise packet of that tournament, getting all the way to the semi-finals where they lost against Italy. Stoichkov. Kishishev wants it on the right flank. The ball delivered to perfection. Kostadinov pulls it back for Lechkov. Oh, got that shot all wrong.
Well, it's not on his favourite foot, this one. Here's a player I think will certainly move at the end of this tournament because he's had a bit of a bad time in Hamburg, my old club. But he's certainly better than that shot, but of course it's on his swinger. Had it been on his right, I think he'd have seen a different result.
Tremendous long ball there by Popescu, but very good defending by Milo Yordanov. Bulgaria with a poor record in these championships, rather like Romania. This is The first time they've actually been at this stage for 28 years. It seems unbelievable when you think of some of the fine Bulgarian teams down the years. But they're leading 1-0 here. Romania, however, looking good again as Lakatush goes forward. Radichoiu to one side of him, Munteanu the other, and that took a little deflection. Mikhailov did well to readjust his position.
Yeah, this little player here is now starting to come into it. He's a little bit unlucky here, tries to pull a first-time ball back. And had he got it there to Radichoiu, he would have been in with a great chance, but it got deflected straight to the keeper's arms.
Stoichkov. Excellent play again. Now Yordanov. Kishishev gets it back to Yordanov. Lechkov goes spinning under the challenge, and this time Bulgaria do get the free kick. Selimesh, the player who fouled him, and he was one of those cautioned in the opening match against the French. In fact, the only one in the starting 11 today who carries the yellow card into the game. Lovely ball forward. He saw Stoichkov making the run, but I called it a lovely ball. Stoichkov had something rather ruder to say about it, I think.
First 20 minutes gone through, quite a nice open game, possibly because of the early goal. But the star man for me at the moment on the pitch is a referee, Mr. Mikkelsen from Denmark, who's just refereed it superbly, not stood up with any diving, let the game flow, allowed us to see a good game of football so far.
And gives the free kick there for a foul on Penev.
He's not flashed the yellow cards about though, Alan, has he, like some of the others have? There's already been 2 or 3 bookable offences, but he said, go on, play, and I'll let you play, but don't do anything silly.
Yes, so far the referee helping to make this an entertaining game. He might have a word with Hadji, because that's the second successive free kick he's given away, but no, Mr. Mikkelsen again just has a strong word and leaves it at that. How refreshing to see when you think of the way some referees, indeed, including one of England's representatives, sadly, always went for the yellow card. Kishishev. Chipped forward for Lechkov. That's a good ball. Kostadinov hits it. That must have been inches away from creeping in at the far post to make it 2-0.
Well, you can't believe how close this is. It's a great little ball. He has a job defending it, Munteanu. And what a strike this is. And it could have easily flown in the corner. Look, it actually deflects off Lechkov here. But what a strike this is, again with his weaker foot, but a real good contact. Keeper could just watch it go by and hope and pray.
Scored 7 goals in the 9 qualifying games for Bulgaria. Emil Kostadinov, who's just about to go to Porto in Portugal from Bayern Munich. Romania looking good again. Hadji dummies it to Radichoiu. The shot by Munteanu kept it low, but no real power. Again, though, lovely flowing football, Kevin, wasn't it?
Yeah, the Romanians have got to come out and play now, and that's something they never really did against France, and they disappointed me, especially second half when they're a goal down. You know, and France, although they did some good things, never really dominated them like you thought they would. But they seemed incapable of getting a goal, and so far, despite all the good little bits of football, they haven't really created anything.
Clearance by Prodan. Radichoiu did well to keep that one in and find Lakatush with a little header. Lakatush challenged by Yankov, and indeed the whistle goes for a free kick. Lakatush winning his 85th cap tonight. And Lechkov, rather fortunate to get away with that challenge, I think. Tries to release Penev.
23 minutes gone again here. He played pretty much all the game at Ellen Road in Penev, and I haven't seen anything yet from him that makes you suggest that you know, he could be top scorer in a difficult league like Spain is. You know, he really hasn't performed so far. They'll be looking for a vast improvement from him here today.
I'm not saying this is significant, Kevin, but the coach is his uncle. Might help. Kishishev did really well to keep that in play. Now Kostadinov. That's a foul. Kostadinov complains to the referee. Still no sign of Mr. Mikkelsen bringing out a yellow card. How refreshing to see.
He may have left him in the... Have you ever thought he may have left him in the dressing room, Alan? Because really and truthfully, in the other games so far, we would have seen at least 3, possibly even 4 bookings. And certainly for that one there, we got right in front of the linesman, who again did nothing about it.
Here goes Stoichkov trying to find a glimmer of an opening and conning his way, I have to say, into a free kick that time. We've been praising the referee, but I think he fell for that hook, line and sinker. And the Romanian players certainly think that.
Yeah, I thought he was going to go for a yellow card there. He sort of made an action to go to his pocket, but Stoichkov was never going to get this. There is a push, though, from Munteanu, and now this is a much more dangerous position. You would worry here a little bit because Stoichkov, it's just his distance, this, and he doesn't half bend the ball with his left foot of his.
So Romania face a real test here from Stoichkov, but he got it wrong this time.
Look at the way that ball bent, Alan, straight into the JVC side.
I was going to say, I'm glad to see your horse did rather better today than your predictions on these free kicks. You had a little bit of a touch, I think, with the horse today.
Yeah, I've had a little winner at Carlisle, trained by Mickey Shannon, so it's my wife was there with my racing manager, Terry McDermott, who's my answer to Angus Gold, Shape Mammons racing manager.
Well, I suppose he'll be having a sober afternoon, Terry. Selimesh getting forward here, even off with the interception, and just did enough. Canny piece of defending by
You'd like him in your side, Alan, wouldn't you? I mean, he looks fierce, and that little bit of plaster on his nose just sets him off. I remember at Wembley, when he played against England, he took a few chances, got away with them, but he's looked excellent in this tournament so far.
He had a trial last season at Coventry City, even off, and got himself sent off playing for their reserve side, and I think Big Ron decided that was enough. Or perhaps he just frightened even Big Ron. He's certainly got a fearsome appearance.
Did you say that wasn't enough, or that was even enough?
Prodan with the long ball forward. Flicked on towards Radichoiu, but came off the defender from Lupescu's little header. Tiano has switched wings for the moment. And the foul, was it? No, not given. Trescu believing he should have had a free kick for that. Now the ball has gone out of play. It's a throw into Romania. Romania, who won their qualifying group by 1 point from the French. So that underlines how good they were in getting to this stage, because the French, many people's idea of potential champions. They had 6 wins, 3 draws, and just 1 defeat against France in Bucharest.
You really feel that if this team are ever going to win anything, this is the last chance, really. You would think by the next World Cup there'd have to be a little bit of young blood put in the side.
Popescu going forward for the Romanians. Deflected away off, even off. It's Stoichkov back defending. You don't use that phrase very often. Well, it looks as though we're going to see a change up front here for the Romanians. Moldovan being told by coach Iordinescu exactly what he wants him to do, what he expects of him. He did come on to replace Radichoiu in the opening game at half-time, so he's going to make an even earlier appearance today.
I don't think it'll be for Radichoiu, though. I mean, I'll be surprised if it is, because he looked quite lively at the start of this game. He's on the ball now. He's been all over the place, working a lot harder than he did in the first game.
Now here's a chance for Hadji, who goes down under the challenge from Ivanov. And Ivanov's heart must have been in his mouth for a moment. He turned and applauded the referee when he realised that he wasn't going to say penalty.
Lakatush is coming off, and it doesn't surprise me. He started off very sloppy, giving the ball away a lot, and he hasn't looked like the player that he looked for 4 or 5 years ago when I last really had a good look at him. He's been disappointing. It's sad to depart at this early stage of a game, what with half an hour gone.
Moldovan on, then Lakatush off, and still the scoreline remains Bulgaria 1, Romania 0. Had quite a lively second half against the French. Stojkovic beaten to it by Kostadinov and Munteanu. And play lying injured for Bulgaria as play goes on, with Popescu in possession. A glorious ball by Popescu to Petrescu down the right-hand side, and it was Stoichkov who got back to stop him getting any further.
So it's Kostadinov who's down, and he stayed down. I think he got a knock on his thigh, on his left thigh. He's pulled it, he's saying. And that'll be the end of the game for him if that's the case, because you just don't stay on once you've pulled muscles like that.
Stretcher is on, and that's why we're getting a delay over the taking of the corner, obviously.
He's in some pain there. That'll be the end of his, not possibly just this game for him, but that'll be the end of his tournament, if that's what I think it is, which is a hamstring.
Certainly looks in a lot of agony as he stretched it off. I'll wait a moment at least before making a change. Penev, the coach, physio has just confirmed the extent of that injury. And from the corner, tremendous effort, hits the underside of the crossbar. They're claiming that it crossed the line from Munteanu's stunning shot, but the referee is appointed for a corner. A tremendous effort here, Kevin.
Oh, this is a strike of the tournament so far, and I don't think it has crossed the line, but in 1966, there's a lot of people didn't think that one did either. But what a shot. He's only a little pocket dynamo, isn't he? What a shot he had.
And a claim for handball, and again, the referee disappoints Romania by waving play on. Well, that was an awesome effort by Munteanu. Popescu's got himself forward now with a header. Kishishev will clear. And the Bulgarians are still down to 10 men at the moment, with Kostadinov receiving treatment on the touchline. Selimesh for Romania goes forward. Hadji, oh, the back healer, delightful. Munteanu keeps the flow going. I have to say at the moment, Romania are looking the better side, even though they are a goal down, and have been playing the better football for 20 minutes or so. Here's Munteanu, who came so close to that equaliser moments ago, but that was a poorer effort by him. Just about to be made, incidentally, by the Bulgarians to replace the injured player. Mikhali Borimirov, I should say, has come on. And he's more of a defensively minded player, so that's going to slightly unhinge their system with Kostadinov an out-and-out attacker, Kevin.
Yeah, but it might not be a bad thing, because they've been under a lot of pressure since they went 1-0 up. The Romanians have taken the game to them, as they must, and they've looked a much better side than they did against France. I've got to say that. I was a little bit disappointed. They still haven't managed, though, Alan, to get Argy into this game like they would like.
Fescu brought down, was he? Yes, by Yankov.
They're having a sweep up in this stand to see if this referee's ever going to give a card. He seems adamant on not doing it and doing it his way, and I respect that.
Popescu seeing a lot of the ball in that central midfield role, but beaten to it that time by Lechkov. Romania retained possession, though. 12 minutes of the first half remaining, and Bulgaria lead 1-0 here at St James's Park. Group B fixture this, remember, with the French on top of the group at the start of play with their 3 points. Little ball forward again to pocket battleship, as Kevin's christened him, Munteanu.
Well, he doesn't look big enough to hit a shot like that, does he? I mean, he must only be about 5'4".
It's Stoichkov for Bulgaria. Lechkov. And again, those two combine brilliantly. Glorious ball back to Stoichkov. Penev in the middle in a great position, and he couldn't pick him out.
Oh, he'd be disappointed, not with the run and the clever football, but with the final ball, Alan. He really should have released it, I think, a little bit earlier when Penev was completely free. But what a great little move, and it breaks down the offside, any chance of offside. Look, I thought he should have given it there. Just wait and and gives the defender a chance there just to get a block on.
Superb link-up, though, between Lechkov and Stoichkov. The corner hammered in. Ooh, well, it looked an odd one, but it might have actually caught Stelja out. Goal kick, though.
Yeah, the two players there linking are two world-class players, and they've played together so many times, and you could see that. Here's that shot again, and I mean, it really is tremendous. And it is a goal, actually. There's no doubt about it. That is a goal. That's even more convincing, having seen it in slow motion, than the '66 World Cup goal. And there's no Russian linesman here today.
Balakov going forward for Bulgaria. Lechkov joining him down the left. In the middle is Penev. Almost a good ball. Prodan read the danger. And certainly that particular angle we saw that shot from was much more convincing.
Well, it takes away any doubt, doesn't it? And another call tomorrow maybe for having cameras and for just incidents like that.
Meantime, Romania press forward again, but they've lost out to Svetanov.
It was well over the line. It wasn't even... It's not as even if there's a doubt about it.
I think we're going to have another look here, Kevin.
Yeah, it's incredible how far it is over the line. I never thought it in... I mean, to be fair to the referee, I never thought for 1 minute it was in. But look at this. That's it.
Oh, no question. No question whatsoever.
It nearly at the back of the net. It was that far in.
And what was the linesman doing? Surely the referee needs help from the linesman in a situation like that. As we mentioned at first, we weren't sure. It is all about angles when you see the ball from different positions on the field, and the referee was not in an ideal position, it has to be said, to decide whether it had crossed the line, but surely the linesman was. That's one of the reasons he's there, and he's made a big mistake, and it could be a very costly one for Romania. It could have them out of the championships, possibly that costly. But a long time to go yet. But a goal then, an equaliser, would have lifted their spirits in a half in which truly they have dominated. Well, we've had another moment of controversy then in Euro 96 with a goal that most certainly should have been allowed.
The only excuse you can make for the linesman, Alan, is that when it went to Munteanu, I never thought he was going to shoot. You wouldn't. Neither would the 10, 12, 15,000 people here. And certainly the linesman was probably just looking across thinking, is anybody offside, you know? So it is difficult. I mean, I never thought for 1 minute it was in, but it's well in.
Yeah, caught us all by surprise. Now, that looks an interesting ball, and Selimesh has got a bit of defending to do. However, there's a foul on him. To his relief, I might say, because that was a difficult position he found himself in against Yordanov. Eight minutes of the first half remaining here. It may not on paper have been a match this that would have excited many British football fans, but I think it's proving to be a fascinating game and certainly plenty of talking points, Kevin.
Yeah, not that many saves to the goalkeeper, but some of the intricate build-up play, especially from the Romanians, has been excellent. And Stoichkov's goal was possibly, till here, just about the best goal I've seen in the tournament. When you see the way he picked it up and he just attacked the back four, I thought he's very direct, and he got his reward for it with a super goal.
Actually, I think you can truly say that the best goal of the tournament so far won't count, because if that goal from Munteanu had been allowed, no contest, it would have been the best goal we've seen so far. It
might have been the best goal you've seen in if you take the last World Cup as well, you know. I mean, it was a tremendous strike from the little man, and he's very unlucky. And in years to come, Alan, it won't be a problem, because I'm sure technology, the way it's advancing, they'll find a way of putting something in a ball and a beam across the line that tells you, you know, and flashes some lights up like it, you know, it's bound to come in this day and age. It's unfair just to rely on a referee in that situation, because he's human, and, you know, the human eye could not see that ball across the line.
Romania try to overcome their disappointment and get a legal goal, but for all their fine football and pressing, they're still a goal behind here. Mirov couldn't keep the attack going for Bulgaria, but Kishishev has the ball for them now. Penev, disappointing control again by him. And Bulgaria have gone a little ragged, really, it has to be said, since the dream start that Stoichkov gave them.
I'm sure they won't admit it, but the worst thing that happened to Bulgaria was the goal, because up to that point they were knocking it around nicely. They've never found that rhythm since.
And across the line before Selimesh made the header. Plays in Belgium for Cercle Bruges, although I gather he's moving to Anderlecht after the championships. An awful lot of the players that you'll see on your screens over the next couple of weeks are on the move to big clubs in Italy and Spain in particular. And maybe in the case here of Radicioiu to England. West Ham evidently have an option for his signature at the end of the championships.
Well, certainly if Harry Redknapp's been watching him, if you watched him in the first game, he would have to be disappointed. But today he started off very lively. He hasn't made a major contribution yet, but his work rate has been tremendous.
Romania build again. Munteanu. Hadji. There's a great ball over to the far post. Pesca out to a substitute on that far side, who's doing his best there to hold off the challenge. And I think the whistle has gone for a free kick. 5 minutes of the first half remaining, just a little under, in fact. Hadji will take the kick. Moldovan himself in a position there near the penalty spot. Radicioiu just behind him. In fact, the whole posse of Romanian players in there. Very packed penalty box. Surprisingly for Hadji, free kick overhit. Happy at all.
He hasn't really convinced me in this tournament that he can run this side anymore. He's had odd little touches, little back heels, little things that have excited you, and he's no doubt he's a quality player, but so far in this tournament, 1.5 games played, which could be half his tournament if Romania go out, he hasn't really been able to run this side like he's capable of.
Moldovan's header falls straight to Yordanov. And Bulgaria, I think, will be quite happy to reach half-time with their lead intact here. Because frankly, they're a little fortunate to be ahead. It's had a reputation, Bulgaria, in recent times rather, as a side with a marvellous attack, but defensive weaknesses. It's been a little the other way around here today. They haven't done much attacking, and their defence has been strong.
Yeah, Ivanov and Yankov in particular play very well together, seem to know what each other expects of one another, and they really haven't been troubled in that area.
There's one for Borimirov. Good defending again, though, by Romania. Selimesh knew exactly what he was doing, letting the ball run. It's a goal kick. He has possession again. Dedic, the sweeper, returns it once more to Selimesh. A strong challenge there by Kishishev, and he heard himself making it. Lupescu, lovely little ball, Radicioiu. Well, Ivanov came across and blocked his route to goal quite legally, says the referee.
He's very, very strong, this Ivanov. You just can't push him out the way like Radicioiu tried there. He doesn't move.
Prodan with a clumsy ball straight back to Stoichkov. A lovely ball to Balakov. He tried to twist the defender both ways. He's still got Stoichkov in support, but in the end, Balakov couldn't get the ball back to him. However, Penev regains possession. Balakov takes over again. This is Kishishev. Borimirov. Now Lechkov, happy to let that one go for a throw-in, and happy to kill a little more time. Balakov tries to shake off Munteanu and has done so. That's a free kick. That's Stoichkov territory again.
Surely the yellow card's got to come down for that one. I mean, Petrescu's tackled him from behind, and the rules are clear on that. He's just adamant, Mr. Mithison. You know, he's not going to book anybody. It's going to be an amazing thing. But watch this tackle. This is from behind, but it really is a bookable offence.
Well, Stoichkov territory it may be. No yellow card, but it's going to be Balakov who'll take this free kick. Stoichkov's walked away. Not often he gets upstaged at free kicks. Kazimir Balakov.
It's a good ploy though, Alan, because they'll be used to Stoichkov. They're wondering what this guy's going to do, especially the goalkeeper, Steliar.
Well, he needn't have worried too much as it happened.
No wonder Stoichkov takes most of them. That was disappointing.
No doubt Stoichkov will be making his point along those lines at half-time. They do say that he struts around the training field at Bulgaria's camp as though he's in charge of the team, and a lot of people say that that's probably not a million miles from the truth.
Well, with the greatest respect, Alan, when they cross that white line, he is. I mean, he's the one they look to give it to. He's the one who makes them a little bit different. He's the one who just does that little bit extra, and he's worked hard today, which I've often seen him play for Parma this year, and he hasn't worked as hard as he's worked for his country here today.
No, in fact, amazingly, the top sports magazine in Italy voted him the flop of the year in Serie A, and that would have stung him, that criticism, because he's a very proud man. Balakov going forward again for Bulgaria as we move into first half stoppage time, with the Bulgarians leading 1-0. Ivanov's clearance, just got the distance on that. That was all he was intending to do.
One of the things that's amazed me about this tournament so far, no one's really picked up on, but it's something I've noticed. I wonder how many other people have. There's very few wingers in it. You know, there's no wingers here today. Not what we would call real wingers. And it's shades of '66, isn't it? Where, you know, Alf won it with his wingless wonders.
That's right. Lupescu getting forward down the wing, but it's not obviously his true position, and he couldn't really make any impact. Goal kick, and that's probably just about the end of the action in the half. Ivanov does his job again.
Would not like to meet that man in a dark alley. He looks fierce, doesn't he? Ivanov. He's got those
floodlit alley would be dangerous, I think.
Dark or bright.
He's there to defend, and he's done that extremely well in this half. And that's the half-time whistle. Bulgaria leading Romania by 1-0 here at Allen Road. Stoichkov scoring as early as the 3rd minute with a brilliant run through the heart of the Romanian defence. But how unlucky Romania were to have a possible equaliser ruled out. That brilliant shot by Munteanu hitting the underside of the crossbar, but neither linesman nor referee were able to see it cross the line, and it doesn't count. And so we reach the interval, the half-time scoreline of Bulgaria 1, Romania 0. Substitution been made by Romania during half-time. Gulka has come on. We think just looking around for Lupescu as Romania get the second half underway. I can confirm, in fact, that it is Lupescu who's gone off. Remember, Bulgaria leading by 1-0, but in controversial fashion. And I would only underline, really, what Bob Wilson was saying. It does seem incredible in this day and age that we can't come up with some kind of device that would remove the need for human judgment on incidents like that first half shot by Munteanu. You think of how the electronic age has helped tennis, for instance, to sort out its disputed calls, then why hasn't the world game of football taken a lead from that? Romania going forward again, and the ball pulled back just in behind the two on-rushing forwards there, Radichoiu and Moldovan. That was unlucky again.
Yeah, it was a great cross-in, but one of the major problems for me that Romania have is every time someone gets into a wide position, and even if they're putting the best ball in the world, there's so few bodies in yellow shirts piling in there. So the chances of them finding a yellow shirt are really small.
And Romania, as the game wears on, of course, are going to have to take more and more risks and do send people forward, because remember, they have no points as we speak, having lost their opening game against France, and a further defeat today would surely rule them out. They could be out of it by Saturday anyway, after the France-Spain game, which is at Ellen Road on Saturday night, and you can see live on ITV. It's a full house, that one, and promises to be one of the big games of the championships. Mistake there by Yankov has given Romania possession. Radichoiu goes spinning, but the referee quite rightly says play on. The ball delivered towards Moldovan in the penalty area, but an easy catch for Mikhailov.
Well, again, the referee saw that incident off the ball when Radichoiu went down. He said to Radichoiu, "Don't worry, I saw it," but he hasn't done anything about it. I swear to you, he's left his yellow and red cards in his hotel room.
Well, he's clearly trying to do the opposite of Mr. Ellery here. Not a single player cautioned as yet. Let's hope it stays that way.
He's going to book him now, actually. So there you go.
Inevitable. The moment I said that, absolutely inevitable, wasn't it?
It's good refereeing, though, Alan, isn't it? He's let the game flow, and then he's pulled him up on it.
But it is significant, Kevin, because Kishishev, having been booked in the opening match against Spain, now will not be able to play in Bulgaria's final group game. 2 cautions, an automatic 1-match suspension.
Yeah, he misses the game against France, and he is a good player, and they'll miss him.
Lechkov going forward. A little nudge in the back there on Balakov. Cross aimed towards Stoichkov. And Stoichkov still in a good position in the middle here. And that was a much cleaner catch by Stelia.
That would have sent panic through the ranks of the Romanian defenders, because they'll remember what he did here just a few days ago against France. But he was very, very clear in his mind there what he was going to do, and he did it very well.
Pace of the game picking up again nicely at the start here in the second half. And little Munteanu, who's been as impressive as most on the field today, gets back to defend well. Petrescu down the line to Hadji, who's been very quiet. Certainly for one of the great players in the World Cup 2 years ago, he's been rather disappointing so far in these championships. This today, incidentally, is Hadji's 99th appearance for Romania. And only one other player in their history has ever reached the 100 mark for international caps. Here's Penev for Bulgaria. Free kick has been given. Foul there on Gulka. The man has just come on by Penev.
Well, I know you was joking at the start when you said, well, you weren't joking, you were sort of laughing about Penev's uncle being the coach, but he really hasn't done enough to deserve his place again here today so far.
Petrescu getting forward, played it in behind his teammate Popescu. Stoichkov has flitted in and out of the game, but inevitably the contributions he has made have been outstanding. Here's Hadji, lovely ball. Petrescu tried to pull it back to Radichoiu on the near post. Bulgaria defending well once more, something they've been doing exceptionally well all day, really.
They defended excellently, but I must say I thought Petrescu should have knocked it in first time, because the weighted pass from Hadji just lent itself for that. He sort of more or less said to him, yeah, there you go, just play that in. He had another touch and allowed defenders to close him down.
Gulka, the half-time substitute, finding Munteanu. Now a chance for Beladedic to make a run forward. He hasn't had many of those today. He's given it away on this occasion. Stoichkov hit that ball first time, but in the middle, Balakov was offside.
That's bad. That's a bad decision, Alan. Under the new rules, there's no way he should have put his flag up there, the linesman. But possibly from where he was, he can't see whether the ball's going down the middle or not.
I think that's the same linesman who ruled out Munteanu's goal, so he's not having the best of days. Now then, Hadji. This looks dangerous, and that's a foul by Ivanov that might earn him a caution, but it doesn't appear to be.
It's got to. He's given a free kick, so therefore he's admitted in it. The referee's admitted it's a foul. It's a tackle from behind again. Doesn't get the ball. It's got to be booked. We're now actually going the other way. We've been saying referees are booking too much, and now we're saying this guy's not doing it enough. They can't win, can they, the referees?
Well, I have to say that merited a yellow card. It was a quite deliberate trip. Maybe punishment is in the offing, though. Very good position, this. Hadji over the ball, so too is the Chelsea man, Petrescu. Looks like it might be set up for either Muntiano or Hadji. Muntiano's out of the picture at the moment. It's Hadji who set it up for him. Not quite so impressive, the shot this time, but he was hurried and under pressure.
A lot of people have been saying they've been disappointed with the free kicks. This one's quite inventive. It's not one we haven't seen before, but again, he's just asking it. He's coming onto the ball, makes it very, very difficult, and he's sliced it way, way wide. Only the photographers seemed in danger there.
Just to remind you, in Group B, Romania's last game is against Spain in Leeds next Tuesday, and on the same night, Bulgaria play France here.
What a strong boy this Ivanov is. I mean, he really is. He's a player's player, this guy. He gets stuck in and he lets people know he's there, but he's never done it in any way that have infringed the rules today.
Now, Malakov loses out in midfield. Romania come forward impressively again. Hadji in a good position, edge of the box, and gets it now. Luka. Dadic. He's given it away again. This is Lechkov, Bulgaria. Stoichkov with a brilliant ball back to him. That was delightful. And Lechkov tries to release Borimirov in the middle. The goalkeeper had to come a long way out of his area this time, and this time he did it well, Stelia.
Another one there, Lechkov, who hasn't really had the influence on this game that he did at Leeds against the Spanish. I felt he had a great game there and contributed well, but again he's found it difficult to get into this match.
Romania still a goal behind here. Hadji almost won the ball back off Yordanov then. In the end, Yordanov did well. Stoichkov will be looking for a free kick here, and he'll get one.
I don't know about you, Alan, but I really like these numbers on the front of the shirts. I know it's difficult to do in England with all the sponsorship on the front, but it helps you certainly to know who the player is. It's got to help fans.
Definitely helps commentators, hear to that.
Especially someone like you who's got a pair of binoculars here to look out on the pitch.
Listen, I have them when I'm driving. Balakov. Petrescu couldn't take it off him. Finds Penev. Stoichkov. Lechkov just touched it on. That could have caused a bit of havoc, but Stelia read the danger. It wasn't the best throw, though, by the goalkeeper. It was too early. Needed his side to settle. Now foul on Lechkov by Gulka has given Bulgaria a free kick, and they've got the keeper to blame for that, really, Romania.
I wouldn't be surprised if Ivanov has to go from here, remember?
Yeah, against Spain.
Against Spain, we said surely he's not going to shoot from it. He is.
He is. Here he goes again. Oh dear. It's more of a sort of casual training ground effort, really, that one. He looks as though he's had about a week on the Newcastle ground, really, Ivanov, doesn't he?
He's got that sort of look about him. This is the worst free kick of the tournament. We've had some bad ones, but this one's the worst. Only McDonald's getting any benefit out of it.
I think he was on that Cathay Pacific flight, Ivanov, because he's definitely the worse off, appearance-wise.
But he's playing really well. He really is. He may not look exactly the part, but he can play.
Here's Gulka. Chip ball forward, looking for Muntiano on the left, and the foot was raised a bit too high there. The referee will give a free kick against Salimesh.
Just apologise to Ivanov there. He doesn't want to upset him in any way, but this is a foul. You can't raise your foot to this height.
Not against replace him, you can't. I think he'd get in the villains team, wouldn't he? The villains 11. He's probably the sweetest boy in the whole of Bulgaria, but he doesn't look it, and that's half the battle. If you're a forward, you don't want to come out and see a defender like him playing against you, do you, Kevin?
No, and if you're at his club and you're picking the five-a-side team, you pick him first, like we used to Tommy Smith at Liverpool. Didn't matter whether Smithy was playing well or badly, just pick him so you didn't have to play against him.
Tommy Smith's like Robert Brentford compared to Ivanov. Sorry, Tommy. Here's Gulka for Romania, using it back to goalkeeper Stelia.
I hope Smithy doesn't hold that against me just because I'm co-commentating with you, Alan.
There's that. If I see him, I'm blaming you. The clearance by Yordanov. How do we manage to get Liverpool into the European Championships?
Wouldn't be a bad thing, Alan. Certainly get more people at some of the games, I think, than we've got here today.
Gulka going forward for Romania again. Played that one in behind Petrescu, who did well to retrieve it, really. And a good ball as well. Hadji. And Hadji chipped it in, and it was a good save, and then Munteanu couldn't get there on the far post.
Great goalkeeping this. Anyone from Reading watching this guy play, I know he's been injured a lot. This is a great ball from Petrescu. Teases the defender, and I thought Hadji waited a bit too long, but he knew what he wanted to do, and this is a teaser. And he's done ever so well. He's done everything that he required of him.
Lechkov it was who met the corner first. Here's Gulka. It's a useful ball, but Selimash couldn't take it in his stride, and Ivanov just let it go out of play, knowing it was a goal kick. Mikhailov, who's been an international for 13 years for Bulgaria, has made one or two very important saves already in these championships. 33 years now, very influential player, not only in terms of his goalkeeping, but his presence in the squad. His 96th cap this today. Touched on by Borimirov. Romania have it back, and percentage-wise, they've had so much more of the ball than Bulgaria today. Radichoyu doing well. The Bulgarians are stubborn defenders and continue to provide an impenetrable wall at the back. It's going to need a little touch of genius here from a Romanian player, I think, to break them down. There have been no signs at all of a likely error by any of these Bulgarian defenders. That's obstruction against Popescu by Yordanov.
Popescu being forced more and more to go forward. I don't really think it's his strength. You know, you'd much prefer Hadji or even Munteanu in that position, but to be fair to him, he's as game as a pebble. He's trying to do that job.
Hadji will take the free kick. Long way out, but he has a pop anyway. And first bounce, no problem for Mikhailov to field it.
What Hadji's saying there to the players is you've got to make a run across to take away a bit of the goalkeeper's vision. But I think even had they done that, they didn't really expect to trouble a keeper of this quality from that distance with that type of shot, surely.
Well, the pattern of most of the first half repeated here in the second half, and the possession statistics underline just how much of the ball Romania have had. Berodedic going forward, looking for Petrescu down the right. Our man Ivanov there again. Boot raised high there by Stoichkov. He'll complain to the heavens about that.
What he's saying is that the guy never came into it. I think it was Hadji, he just pulled out of it. So it wasn't dangerous. But on the continent, you raise your foot anywhere above shoulder height or even anywhere near shoulder height, and they'll give free kicks.
And with Hadji's ability to curl them in, it could be a problem here for the Bulgarians. A lot going on off the ball as Hadji steps up to the free kick, and Mikhailov did the right thing then. He would have been under pressure to catch it, and he punched a long way out. Still, they have possession. Gulka laying it in, and that was challenged by Ivanov, but might have brought a free kick. The second challenge certainly will do. And the referee continues to keep cards in pocket.
I think that was good refereeing. I think Petrescu makes a meal of this. Just gets a touch, not really a tackle. Dives, makes a meal of it, doesn't get it, but the second one certainly was.
Romanian supporters behind that goal, believing this is the moment for the breakthrough. But Hagi's free kick deflected off Lechkov for a corner. A little over an hour gone at St James's Park in this Group B match. Bulgaria lead Romania 1-0. And the corner pulled back right to the very edge of the penalty area where Munteanu's shot was blocked. Mirov misses it completely and then fouls in his attempt to win it back. The whistle has gone, Stoichkov's got involved, as usual. He was sent off 11 times in 5 years in his spell in Spain with Barcelona, Stoichkov. He's probably lucky it only was 11. In fact, the first time he got sent off playing for Barcelona, he showed his disapproval by stamping on the referee's foot. It didn't really help his case when it came before the disciplinary commissioner. Hagi with the free kick. Oh, a real bender that one, Kevin.
That's probably the best one he's had so far, but again, he's not really, for me, got on his game today. Even his free kicks, you know, we had 2 or 3 from the wide positions where you expect him to do better, but if you look at this one, although it's dipping, the keeper knows, Mihailov, he just ran straight under it. But this is more like him, with a bend on that ball. But he's got it well covered, hasn't he? He's just strolling under it.
There's Stoichkov. Oh dear, that challenge by Mirov was a real cruncher. And it's left the Romanian player lying injured in the centre circle. Player's gone on with Lechkov treading on the ball and getting away with it. Now it's been knocked out of play.
I think he'll look to book the player again. I'm sure he's going to do that. And again, it's good refereeing. He's got to make sure he gets the right one, though. He says it's not me. He says, look, it's not me. And that's the problem with leaving it and not clamping down straight away.
I don't think it was him either.
It wasn't.
I thought it was Mirov who made the challenge.
He's just gone to the area where he saw the player run, and he's booked the player that was in that area, but it's not the right player.
Yeah, we'll have a look exactly what. There it is, number 16, Mirov, and he booked number 18, Svetanov. Well, that's surely a case for an appeal by Bulgaria, and I'm sure they'll make it, and I'm sure they'll be upheld.
Depends whether Depends whether he's already got a yellow card.
No, he hasn't. So
that's all right.
He's all right. Well, he's not amused, Gulka, because having come on at half-time, he's now going off just a few minutes later with what looked a pretty nasty injury. It really was a horrible-looking tackle from our distance, and from his distance, painful.
The worst tackle of the game so far. There's been a few little dodgy ones, but I think he's going to come back on. He's a bit of the old magic sponge and a bit of spray.
Trying to touch it on for Balakov. Velodedic gets it clear. Radichoyu, now Hagi. Ooh, that was almost a brilliant ball, and it could still turn out to be Moldovan. Not able to take it first time, nor second as it happened. As Lenkov got it clear, and down on the halfway line, Gulka is back on the field. Plays for Steaua Bucharest, incidentally, and did the League and Cup double with them in Romania last season. 65 minutes gone, Bulgaria 1, Romania 0. It's been an always entertaining game, this one. It will be with this fellow around. He always looks mortally wounded when anyone temerity to challenge him, Stoichkov. Yankov, back to Ivanov. Oh, lovely ball. Kishishev. Great run by Kishishev. Gulka shadowing him all the way. Now, did that hit the hand? It certainly did. Whether it was deliberate is the question. Play on is the verdict.
I think we're seeing it again today, the problem that Romania have. They're a toothless tiger. For all the little pretty possession and little bits of magic here and there, they've never really got in at the back of the Bulgarians there, have they? And they've had all the possession, really. It's their problem.
We've seen one or two sides like that as well in the early games in these championships. Portugal come to mind. Well, as they played, they didn't really look that threatening in the key area of the field. I think that's what made the Italians apart from just about anybody else we've seen so far. As you know only too well, Kevin, that's why people pay fortunes for front players, because they turn matches as tight as this.
No, there's no doubt about it. When you've played up there like Abbey, it's a difficult place to play because your back's always to where you want to go. A lot of punters don't understand that sometimes. And you know, that's why I like Stoichkov. When you compare him with Hagi, he plays where it hurts, Stoichkov. He does things in the last third, whereas Hagi comes a lot deeper most of the time, and therefore doesn't do it in that vital territory in the last third.
Here's Selimesh for Romania, looking for Moldovan or Radicioiu, missed them both as it happened, and Yordanov accepts the gift. Now Stoichkov. Dispossessed this time, and might regret that. Now, was that a definite foul by Yordanov? It was, says the referee. Free kick, but no card. A fairly deliberate trip to me on Selimesh. Been very lenient, today's referee.
Yeah, I'm sure he's going to be accused of going the other way. I mean, at the start we were praising him, but he's had an awful lot go, hasn't he?
Big sweeper, Volodedic has come forward for this free kick. It's over his head, and that was a chance on the far post. Rodan sneaked in, unseen, and might have scored. Possibly should.
That was a real chance. Great delivery. Very difficult to defend these balls. But look at this. It's a free header, what, 5 yards out? And unlike the one we saw the other day, he's not stretching for it, really. It's just where he wants. And that's what happens when defenders come up there. You know, if you'd have fancied a forward to put that one away, you really would.
Great chance there. Missed by Romania, who go forward again with Radicioiu. Excellent challenge by Kishishev. They're going to miss him when he's suspended for that last game. They'll be hoping his absence won't be important in terms of the points needed from that game, but they've got to win this today. They're ready to make a substitution, incidentally, Bulgaria. Sidakov waiting to come on as Stoichkov sweeps it out to Balakov. And again, Balakov. Hagi comes to take it off him and gets it again. Oh, brilliant play! Oh, almost a perfect ball for Moldovan as well. Well, that's the first time really today we've seen Hagi at his best, apart from that free kick in the first half. Here's Stoichkov.
Magnificent defending there from Svetsanov. He was brilliant, because had he not blocked that one, it was clear through on goal.
Still haven't been able to make their substitution, Bulgaria, even though the ball went out of play a moment ago. Romania in possession again. Radicioiu ran into trouble, but so too did Yankov. Now Radicioiu again. It's a good tackle.
He just keeps running with it till he loses it, Radicioiu. He looks like a player that's missed a lot of games through injury, doesn't he? He's not the player we saw in the World Cup.
There's Balakov. Voted one of the top players in that World Cup and shows his skill here with a lovely little chip ball through to Borimirov. And Volodedic just got across in front of him. That's a goal kick.
He'll be disappointed with that touch, won't he? I mean, he's a big fella and he's had his lead boots on there. Just like Penev coming off again, and I mean, really and truthfully, I know it's his uncle who's picking the team, because you told me, but that's the only way he's earned his place in the last 2 games that I've seen. He really has been a disappointment.
And he's replaced now by Nasko Sidakov, who plays for Slavia Sofia, a prolific goal scorer. In fact, only Stoichkov has scored more goals for the national team amongst their current players. Sidakov has 23 in 81 previous internationals.
I think we'll find that he'll work a lot harder than Penev did as well. He'll work for the team, this guy.
Lechkov doing well. Flattened, but no free kick given. Popescu. Not seen quite so much of him as we did in the first half. Popescu, the former Tottenham man. Here's Hadji. Seeing more of him now as the game wears on, certainly. Tianu's given it away, though, and Sidakov gets his first touch. Lechkov. Played it in behind Sidakov. Can Romania turn all this possession into a goal? 18 minutes they have. If they don't get one, at least one goal, they are surely on their way home in the next few days.
You could say they're not going to remain here.
I could, but I'm really glad you said it instead.
Even I'm sorry I said it now.
Lechkov getting back to defend well as Hadji gets possession, edge of the box. Good tackle again by Lechkov. Everyone back defending for Bulgaria at the moment. Indeed, 21 of the 22 players inside the Bulgarian half. That was a lovely ball as well. Selimesh curls it in, Ivanov gets it out, and the pressure really mounting now. Gulka plays it back in. That was a poor ball, though, given straight to Stoichkov. Balakov caught in possession by Gulka, and Stoichkov did brilliantly to come and win it back again. And it's Balakov down injured, is it?
Yeah, he just got a knock there as the player beat the ball back off him, but I don't think it's anything too serious, just somewhere around his arm, I think.
And sportingly, the Romanians knock the ball out of play so he can receive treatment. Balakov, who Bobby Robson coached when they were at Sporting Lisbon. This is how he got his injury, and Bobby Robson said he's one of the finest football talents he'd ever come across in his career. High praise indeed from a man who, of course, managed the England national team and has been with some of the top club sides in Europe. Indeed, Balakov's own coach Penev says he is an indispensable player to us, and his absence from the side would make me shudder, he said, Penev. So he'll be shivering slightly at the moment as he sees him taken off.
He'd be pleased to see it's his wrist, though. It's nothing serious. I mean, having already lost one player with what looked like an hamstring, I think that's what Kostadinov's got. He'll be glad to see it's just his wrist.
Gulka hammers one into the corner for Radicioiu to chase. Petanov just did enough to hold him off.
Just lacks a little bit of strength for a front runner. You know, if you imagined him coming to England, I think you said before that West Ham are looking at him. I mean, he's got everything, but possibly lacks a little bit of strength. Now, whether that's because he's missed so many games, I don't know, but he's been caught out on that for many times today.
Plays in Spain at the moment, Radicioiu for Espanyol. Jordanov over the head of Sidakov, straight to Prodan, who's missed what was surely Romania's best chance, certainly since Munteanu hit the underside of the bar in the first half. If you had to have just come in from work, then I can tell you that Stoichkov scored a very early goal in the 3rd minute to give Bulgaria the lead, but Romania had a goal chalked off when Munteanu's shot, which hit the underside of the bar and clearly crossed the line, was not seen by either referee or linesman, and that is why Bulgaria still lead 1-0. As you probably saw there, about to make another substitution themselves, as Balakov is ready to come back on for Bulgaria. Well, that was a strange incident with Radicioiu slipping under no pressure at all, and as the ball is delivered forward, Lechkov caused a real problem. The battle of the Baldies there, and Stelia won it.
Arnold Schwarzenegger first to that ball, but that's really good goalkeeping. That's what goalkeepers have to do now.
Lechkov. Balakov in a good position in the middle with his injured wrist. Covered in a bandage now. Borimirov in possession. Stoichkov. What a word. He's never lacked self-confidence.
Really felt that he had the time to take that ball on if he so desired, but he was looking for the goal of the tournament there.
Ili is the player Romania are trying to bring on. He came on in the first game against the French. We're going to see him any moment now, as Hadji is just beaten to it by Yordanov. And that will enable Romania with the ball out of play to make their change. It's Popescu who will come off. Adrian Ili to take his place.
He's worked very hard for him today as Popescu. Without achieving an awful lot, he's been a workhorse for them in midfield.
Ili straight into the action, even off with the clearance. Romania are furious. They felt that he handled the ball then. I think they've got a case as well, frankly, from where we're sitting. Let's have a look. Oh, he did. No question he did. Prodan. Lazy sort of ball that, straight at Kishishev. Velodedic. Only 12 minutes remaining now, and Bulgaria easing their way to a vital win. Ili, later substitute, finding Hadji. Hadji sets it up for the other sub, Gulka. And still Gulka, Lechkov, brilliant work by him. He's worked really hard for the cause today. It's Sirakov. Stoichkov wanted the ball played early, but it never came to him. And Romania have it back again, and Ili in a good position here. No free kick, good challenge, Ivanov.
He's certainly the star man on the pitch for me, Ivanov. He's just played to his absolute strengths, which is his strength, and his reading of the game. And he's been an absolute gem of a player for them today.
Good work by Petrescu. The gap opens up for him. Ili is there. Petrescu still going forward here. Great loud appeals for a penalty as he went down. And you can tell from Petrescu's expression what the verdict is. Play on.
Dangerous little ball, and he's got his back to it, but I don't think, really and truthfully, anyone, maybe except a most staunch Romanian fan, would expect a penalty for that.
In fact, I think the challenge took place just in the arc on the edge of the penalty box anyway, so it wouldn't have been a penalty. However, here goes Lechkov. He could seal it for Bulgaria. Very good save by Stalian. Kishishev. Tremendous effort from the fullback. But wide, and that means that Bulgaria have been denied again.
He's shaking his head there, is Lechkov, but I don't think he can blame himself. This goalkeeper, who really didn't do himself any favours in the first game against France, keeps them in what little chance they've got of this game, qualifying for the next round of the tournament, keeps them in here by coming out and doing exactly what you'd expect Peter Schmeichel to do. And the follow-up shot from this man, who they're going to be without in the next game, is a tremendous strike. I don't know how far wide it is, but he doesn't half hit it.
Took a deflection, in fact, so it should have been a corner, that. I don't think it's been given. Great work by the keeper here. Now watch, does this deflect off the defender? I think it did. Anyway, goal kick, and it's already been taken. Now, Bulgaria win it back in an important position. On it goes to Balakov. Oh, brilliant, love it. The back heeler to Lechkov. Good ball into the middle, Stoichkov lets it run on. Borimirov. Stoichkov didn't quite get their act together then.
can expect this pattern to continue for the last 9 minutes. Romania have got to push forward. I mean, surely they've got to take some chances, because, as we said, if they don't get at least a draw, they're on the way home, or as good as. And of course, the danger is that the Bulgarians will catch them on the break, as they have done just twice there in the last couple of minutes.
Well, we thought we might see a few goals today. As yet, we've only seen that one. That came very early on, but as Kevin has said, anything could happen in the last few minutes here. With Romania now having to go all out for a goal, because if they don't get one, the likelihood is they will play no further part, apart from, of course, from their final group game in these championships. They won't be going into the quarter-finals unless they can produce a bit of magic here in the last 8 and a bit minutes. 2 teams qualifying from each group, remember. Gulka sets one up here for Munteanu. We know he can hit them. And it was a good save again from Mikhailov. However, the linesman has flagged offside, so had that gone in, it wouldn't have counted. That would have been unfortunate.
Munteanu's played much better today than he did against France, but he's so far got no reward for all his efforts. But again, the goalkeeper makes a great save here, because this one bounces just in front of him, and he's up to it. I've been very impressed with him today. I've not seen an awful lot of the goalkeeper, and I don't think the Reading fans have, from what you were saying.
No, 18 appearances is all he managed last season for them. Achilles injury, 1 or 2 other injuries. I don't think Jimmy Quinn was desperately pleased at his investment. Good keeper though he is, not much good if he's not playing. Balakov plays one through for Lechkov to chase. Selimash with the interception. Seven minutes remaining now at St James's Park in this Group B match. And Bulgaria lead Romania 1-0. Brilliant bit of skill by Stoichkov. He'll be moaning about this. No. Very calm reaction for a change. They're winning. That's why.
Half expect Ivanov to hit it from here, what we've seen before, but after his last effort, I doubt he'll come up.
Short to Stoichkov, who got dumped on the ground. Now he will have a moan. Balakov. Back to Stoichkov again. Lovely little ball just inside the fullback, but Trescu's a bit too canny to be beaten by that. Very optimistic effort by Yordanov. Coach Yordanescu is now obviously considering that his challenge for the European Championships is fading by the second.
Yeah, I'll be thinking, what can I do now to change this game, to get us out of this hole we're in? And I think he's probably fired most of his bullets. I don't think he's got much ammunition left.
Bulgarians, who evidently have left their base in Scarborough, because, well, you would, wouldn't you? Maybe we'll be looking for a base as well in the second phase of these championships.
I feel very sorry for Scarborough, because they put them up, they went out the way for them, and it's always so disappointing when the team leave, but probably it was just too long a period that they stayed there.
Here's Petrescu. I didn't mean that, by the way, in case everybody from Scarborough starts jamming the switchboard. Beautiful place. I'd like a week there. Kevin's just ensured it by his compliments. 5 minutes to go. Romania in possession with Illy, the substitute. Good tackle on the edge of the box to dispossess him. Romania still going forward. Now they've got a lot in the penalty area here. Radichoyu couldn't make the header, though. And Balakov with the clearance.
You've got to take your hats off to these Bulgarians. They've took the lead in the 3rd minute, and they've defended. They've defended for the best part of 80-odd minutes now, and they've all worked for each other, which, if you keep doing that as a team, you've always got a chance.
There's a dangerous-looking ball in, though, and they were at full stretch then, and whacked back in by Belodedic offside. Radichoyu in an offside position. Free kick to Bulgaria.
Another good crossing, difficult to deal with. But in the end, it's helped away, and the shot's never going to trouble the keeper anyway.
Well, the Bulgarian fans, what few of them there are inside the stadium, really noisy now, and I'm assured by someone who knows Bulgarian rather better than me that they're chanting "You are heroes" for their players now. They certainly will be if they can progress through to the second phase of this competition. Still got a bit of holding on to do as Senimesh dashes down the left touchline for Romania, looking for the cross, but carried it too far. Goal kick.
Again, that's typified the way the Romanians have been in both the games so far. They've got into good positions, but they've failed really to cause any of the two sides they've played any major problems.
Obviously, there was a Red Indian community in Bulgaria at some stage in their history. It's one of the great things of championships like this, actually, the colourful nature that each set of fans brings. As Ivanov is under a bit of pressure here for Bulgaria. Must compliment the Scots and the Dutch for the part the other day for their marvellous attitude and the manner in which they supported their teams.
Yeah, that's really epitomised what football support should have been all about, that game. It was just tremendous to watch, tremendous to see, and the fact the game ended in a draw meant that none of them went home disappointed.
Now, Hadji with this free kick, 3 minutes less than that, in fact, remaining, and completely sloppy marking there by the Bulgarians, and it was amazing that Prodan was just left all alone for the second time in this half.
Keep falling to the wrong people. It's Prodan, it's a great chance, but he's half scared of what's happening behind him. He thinks he's going to get hit either by the keeper or the centre-half. It's amazing when centre-halves go up how they start to feel just like forwards do sometimes. I think, ooh, you know, am I going to get hurt here?
So Romania, World Cup quarter-finalists just 2 years ago, could effectively be out of this tournament here if Bulgaria hang on. Surely foul by Prodan, yes. Balakov knew it.
A needless foul as well because he lost control of the ball.
And the free kick quickly hit into Stoichkov. Only a minute and a half to go now. Stoichkov knew what he was doing there.
It's been a very workmanlike performance from Bulgaria. I mean, you've got to say that Romania have played the better football, but with absolutely no punch up front.
Just underlines again, doesn't it, at this level of the game, how precious a goal, one goal is. I don't think we're going to see a high-scoring championship, that's for sure, judging by what's gone so far. One goal might be enough to win a lot of matches in Euro 96. It might be enough to win this one. Slechkov hurls the throw-in, no problem for Staliak. Hadji, this could be the last throw of the dice here for Romania, perhaps. Wasn't a bad cross, Ivanov's clearance has gone straight to Radichoyu, who's easily dispossessed. Now Balakov has had a very good game. Here he is again. And a foul by him on Petrescu. Had to take the free kick quickly. Here's Munteanu. Well played, Munteanu. And gets it back from Moldovan. A poor cross.
How many times have we seen that? Great position again. He's got a super left foot, this guy. We've already seen him score a goal from about 30 yards that wasn't allowed. And he just can't deliver a simple cross in, and that really has been their major problem. Although, to be fair to the players who are getting wide, there's not an awful lot of options in the middle. Radichoyu is about the only one in there, and that's far too few, especially when you're 1-0 down and chasing again.
30 seconds and more into stoppage time. Ili going forward for Romania. Slides it to his lap, but just too strong for Moldovan. Bulgaria are going to make a substitution here, which will just be to kill the sort of pace of the game and disrupt Romania's rhythm, I'm sure. Can't have any other real purpose in stoppage time. Good run by Petrescu. challenge by Yordinov. Bulgaria still trying to get the referee's attention to make their substitution. But he's waving play on. Hadji with a throw-in. That could be dangerous as well. Ivanov just got his head to it. Radichoyu knocking it back in. And the effort, yet again, by Prodan, ironically, goes wide, and with it, perhaps, goes Romania's chances.
Well, again, they're unlucky. It falls to the wrong person for me. But this is a real chance again. Battle, a good flick back from Radichoyu, deflect off a defender, and a forward might have made better contact. But he keeps getting there. This guy's very, very genuine, his progress.
Who's going to come off, and the man who's going to come on will be well known to English fans as well. Buncho Gunchev, who of course these days plays for Luton, and has just had his first season with them, which ended in relegation, sadly for them. Had a couple of years at Ipswich before that. Illy's header finds Hadji. A moment of magic perhaps from Hadji, but it's not to be, as Yordinov makes a good, clean challenge. 2.5 minutes of stoppage time, and Stelia decides to entertain the crowd.
Now you know why he's a goalkeeper. He came out, took his eye off the ball. Next thing, he's got to go back and retrieve it.
He took his eye off the ball against the French, that was for sure. Now then, Hadji again, tackled by Ivanov. This could be a significant moment. The free kick has been given. Romania will feel that if there's any justice in this game, and there usually isn't, they'll score from this free kick and perhaps save themselves, because they will still look back on that first half moment when Munteanu's shot clearly crossed the line without being seen by any of the officials. So, are we to see some late drama here at St James's Park? Hadji and Munteanu himself over the ball. Hadji hits it. Straight back to him, and again Bulgaria had the bodies in the way. That was enough.
That just about sums up Hadji's championship. He's had no effect on it. He's a great player.
It's a championship that could come to a premature end for him and his Romanian teammates. The celebrations are of a Bulgarian nature. The Battle of the Balkans, as they called it, has been won by Bulgaria and by Stoichkov's early goal. But there will be much controversy over Munteanu's disallowed effort. The big talking point, I think, of this game. Final score at St James's Park: Bulgaria 1, Romania 0.